Just finished up on this problem and I got cut off, but what I was saying is that everything on this side, this has x is 1, x is 2, x is 3, that's x being greater than 0, so I am shading to the right. On this next example, again, you could pick x and y intercepts, or you can just solve for y. I'm going to go ahead and solve for y. That's my favorite thing to do. The x and y intercepts are easy to find on these. On this particular problem, you do get two whole numbers. You get x is 4 and y is 6. So we can actually make sure that we have graphed this correctly. I just like to do it this way because then I can check out the sign. As long as this y isn't negative, the sign isn't going to flip, so you could look at that. We're going to go up to the 6. This has a negative slope, and notice how I said that the y-intercept would be 6 and the x-intercept would be 4. So we'll go down 3, over 2, down 3, over 2. There's where the y-intercept is 4. I use a dotted line, and then this says shade below the graph, because it's less than, so I'll shade below the graph, and that would be the solution of this linear inequality, anything that's below that line. This last one that I'm going to graph, I'm going to change the sign to plus the opposite. This is where the sign's going to change, so I would have to think about flipping the sign around when I'm solving for the y, or if I was just going to use x and y intercepts, then I'd have to remember that it actually was shaded the other direction. So negative x plus negative 4, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. This really says I have a negative 1 over a negative 2, which is a positive 1/2. And then a negative 4 over negative 2 is actually a positive 2. So I have a positive 2. I'm going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, or down 1 to the left 2, down 1 to the left 2. I use a solid line, and it says greater than, so I would be shading above the line for my solution. Oh, I made a mistake. Let me erase that. What did I forget to do? I forgot to flip my sign because I was dividing by negative on both sides. So actually, I should be shading below the line. So by checking those points, you can actually find your mistake, okay, as well, rather than relying completely on remembering to flip the sign. Okay, writing inequality for the given graph. This given graph is a line, so I know it's going to be y. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out, I'm going to say, well, it's shaded below the line, so I know it's less than. It has a solid line, so I know it's less than or equal to. It goes through at negative 2, so I know my b is negative 2. And it rises 1, 2, 3, and it runs 1. So it goes up 3 and runs 1. So that means my slope is 3 over 1. And I'll put my x and I'll put plus. So really what I can state this to be is just 3x minus 2. The last example is in the story problem form. What we're going to do is we're going to write an inequality to describe the situation. So Billy Bob wants to have a cookout with hamburgers and brats. I'm going to call my hamburgers my x and my brats my y. It doesn't matter which one's which. Hamburgers are $3 a pound. So for every pound of hamburger I buy, it costs $3. And so I'll be adding on some money, $2 a pound for each brat. So 2y. And he has at most $30. What that means is I can't spend over $30. This number has to be the bigger number. I can't spend $40 because he doesn't have $40 to spend. So this one has to be the bigger number. It could be less than or equal to. So this side, the amount of money I spend can be less than $30 or equal to $30, but not more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this inequality, 3x plus 2y is less than or equal to 30. I'm going to plot it on a graph so you can see the different situations that can happen. If I have a negative 3x, I will get a 2y is less than or equal to negative 3x plus 30. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. I get y is less than or equal to negative 3/2 x plus 15. I'm going to plot 15, but I've got to have my graph made. So I'm just going to count by ones here. And 15 happens to be right here. So this is my y-axis, and then this is my x. I'm going to go down 3 over 2, down 3. 1, 2, 3 over 2, down 3, over 2, down 3, over 2, down 3, over 2. So over here, my x values, and I would use a solid line, and I would shade below the line.